You probably have experienced such stereotypes from others. How could women be good at science and laying career? Are you kidding me? You like baby care? Oh, Chinese, you must play Kung Fu. Oh, Jewish, you must be clever on business. You are so young, you must be inexperienced. Such old guy? How could you expect him to be cool? Addicted to computer games? How come you are the top in your class? Graduated from a world-class university. You must be brilliant. Oh my god, look at the moon. This moon is in foreign territory. It's rounder than it's in my motherland. Enough is enough. Why people always stereotype on others? Stereotype can make us take defense for one moment or directly trigger conflicts for centuries. Feminism, racism, but interestingly, it seems unavoidable. Almost all of us have been somewhat stereo others, and more or less, we must have experienced the stereotyping by others. In this video, I will deliver you a silver bullet. Kill all kinds of stereotypes immediately. So let's see why people always stereotype on others first. Reason 1. Conventional learning bug. It's not whose fault. Objectively, it's a conventional way people learn and how brain perceives and processing the input. In our conventional learning process, families, in schools, and from media, people learn by reading, listening, understanding, practicing. However, not everyone is willing to or are capable of perceiving and mastering new things with fully understanding and practice. For example, I'm very interested in Jewish. Flying to Israel to know the local community, well, it's kind of too ideal for me until I found my sponsor for my video. So usually I learn what I want to know from information online, created by others, or from reading books, also written by others. So in this way, what I learned from the books usually have already stereotyped by the authors, more or less. But you know, our human beings, we live in this way. We pass information and knowledge generation after generation in this conventional way. So naturally, all kinds of stereotypes have been created and passed down generation after generation. Since 1930s, experimental psychologists started to study cognitive bias. In the experiment, scientists say people always tend to link stereotypical words with the object. People always link Navy, rigid, CV with lawyer, and math puzzle and selling with engineer, without any basic inquiries about these two specific persons. Also, very often our brain would like to find shortcuts to memorize new things. It turns out simple, categorized, highlighted information are the most welcome contents for our brain to perceive and digest. Reason 2. Our own unique background. We always say in a forest of thousands of trees, no two leaves are alike. In our human society, neither people. Everyone has his or her own life experience in different political, psychological, cultural contexts. Such unique personal backgrounds plus unique tempers have shaped different ways to perceive and understand, even on the same thing. For example, my white shirt story. Once in Beijing, in China, I wore this white shirt in a luxury store. Since I looked not enough rich with jewelry like others around me, sales girls treated me indifferently because she didn't believe I could afford what I want to buy. I don't blame her because according to some luxury brands economics, luxury goods sell best in the fast-growing economy power where the income gaps rocket. After that, I traveled to France in the same shirt, the same brand luxury store. The shopping experience there was totally different because in some socialism countries, country where income gaps are relatively smaller, hardly could you easily spot who is rich and who is poor on the streets. And after that, I back to United States in the same shirt. I asked my friends, is it good enough to fit into the local culture? My friend laughed at me. Are you going to concert? See, this is how people in different cultural contexts think and behave differently, even on the same thing. So, whether stereotype occurs on you or not, it really depends on different background of the others. Reason 3. The tit-for-tat response. Never does stereotype occurs only in one way. The response, actually the tit-for-tat response, often deepen or twist the fact of stereotypes. T for T, I for I. Once people get hurt from the stereotypes by others, the innate reaction is to play back. For example, in the real world, remember Black Lives Matter. In many Black people's communities in the United States, many Black kids have suffered such stereotypes since they were born. On purpose, they grow into the stereotypical figures as other people mocked them. Former President Obama, as a positive role model, once criticized this anti-electoral culture. In the movie Zootopia, the hero Nick takes over the stereotypical figure, the predator, and chooses to become the real sly fox after other preyers hurt his feelings and heart. The stereotypical shallow makes him tell others, never let them get to you. But not all stereotypes work so complicatedly. For many people who stereotype on others, their aim is very simple, is to highlight themselves. Don't really care about other signals or others' feelings. They often misend others just because they are able to stand themselves out. In fact, for them, whatever input for them, they process the input. Just like you tap something on your search engine and click the search button. And then on their database, they just have very limited words to the connection with you. But they don't care, they just use them. Satisfactory. Reason 5. Incapable of understand others properly. Not everyone is capable of feeling and understanding other signals precisely. In our daily life, this is a very significant ability, which beyond your imagination. For example, many couples live together for years. However, until the day they divorce with each other, they get to know the real thoughts in the other's heart. By a well-known Chinese proverb, sleeping on the same bed but dreaming differently. Another example in intimate relationship is about parents and children. Many parents take granted that they know their children very well. After all, they raise them and keep company with them almost every day. However, in some unfortunate cases, until the children missing, do some parents realize the truth behind everything. Process understanding not just relies on open communication, but on open minds, sensitive observation, and fair judgments. Okay, but whatever reason you experience stereotypes by others, take this silver bullet, shut them down. If you stereotype on me, it's your problem, it's not mine. Honey, there is only two things in this world. Remember, one is none of your business. The other one is none of my business. If you stereotype on me, it's none of my business. If you stereotype on me, it's none of my business. If you stereotype on me, it's none of my business. If you tend to stereotype on others, here is a very useful linguistic tip for you. Make a change on your judgment statement into the interrogative sentence. Miss Y, well, your channel is a big hit on YouTube. Is it? Yes, it is.